Rebounding. In the game of basketball, rebounding is often a decisive factor in winning the game. That is why coaches and players practice to master the skill of rebounding. Rebounding is also one of the most dynamic and attractive elements of the game. The correct judgment when players are fighting for a rebound is an important aspect of officiating. One of the basic duties of officials is to be very vigilant in rebound situations. As is the case in officiating, consistency is essential in calling similar play situations. During a rebound, various contact between players occur. Much of it is a natural part of the game and is not the result of players violating the fundamental principles and rules. However, there are a number of situations where officials need to react to illegal actions and where the inconsistency in calling or missing fouls is detrimental to the general image of officiating. In rebound situations, it is necessary to control all phases from the preliminary positions of the players and their movement to when the ball is on the basket, as well as contact after the ball is touched or tapped. Firstly, let's watch some common illegal actions from both defensive and offensive players in rebound situations. Pushing. In most cases, the call is usually correct when a player pushes an opponent from behind. Black 10 drives along the end line and passes the ball to Black 5, who attempts a three-point shot. Black 13 and White 7 go for the rebound. The defensive player, White 7, is behind his opponent. He pushes him from behind and is responsible for illegal contact. White 9 attempts a three-point shot from the left corner of the court. On the weak side, Black 11 goes for the rebound. He makes contact with White 6 by pushing him. This is an illegal play from behind by Black 11, and he is correctly called for the foul. However, sometimes these fouls are missed. White 7 attempts a three-point shot with White 13 and Blue 4 close to the basket. Blue 4 is facing the offensive player and restricts his movement by extending his arms. Blue 4 pushes the opponent, but the foul is missed. The lead official is primarily responsible for this play. But if his view is blocked, then the center or trail official, or even both, must help the lead when calling the foul. Illegal play with extended arm. When rebounding, one of the players extends his arm. In some cases, it is a form of pushing. In other cases, it is illegally restricting the opponent from moving or jumping. In both cases, it is a foul. Red 7 receives the ball at the three-point line in front of the basket and immediately attempts a shot. The offensive player, Red 5, extends his arm in the back of White 5, thus limiting his opponent's movement, and then jumps. A correct call from the official is made. Yellow 4 attacks the opponent's basket. Yellow 12 and Blue 4 go for the rebound. Blue 4 is behind the offensive player. He extends his hand and makes contact with the opponent's back, while Yellow 12 is in the air. Even if a player attempts to play the ball, it doesn't justify contact with the opponent from behind. It is a form of pushing, and the foul is correctly called on the defensive player. Blue 10 attempts a shot. Blue 12 and white 15 go for the rebound. Blue 12 places his hand on the back of white 15 and interferes with the jump of his opponent. Correct call. White 5 attempts a long three-point shot. Black 14 loses his position on white 12 and he is now behind his opponent. Black 14 puts his left hand on the shoulder of white 12, causing contact. A foul is called on the defensive player. As in all previous examples, such an attempt, even if it is directly to play the ball, is against the rules. Unfortunately, the officials sometimes are inconsistent. Let's watch this play. Green 9 attempts a shot for a field goal. Green 6 and white 9 go for the rebound. White 9 puts his hand in the face of his opponent, where contact occurs, and the offensive player grabs the arm of white 9. The officials miss both fouls, but the initial foul of white 9 leads to the start of rough play. In this situation, an obvious foul by blue 11 is missed. The defensive player extends his hand and makes contact with the opponent while white 14 is in the air. Blue 11 gets the rebound but has done so illegally. In this clip, red 7 attempts a three-point shot and red 13 goes for the rebound together with white 13. The defensive player extends his arm and contact occurs with him pushing his opponent. Then white 13 gets the rebound. It is wrong not to call a foul against the defensive player white 13. White 8 attempts a long three-point shot. White 13 and blue 9 go for the rebound. White 13 is in a bad position behind the defensive player, but blue 8 catches and then elbows his opponent in the face, causing personal contact. With no call from the lead official, it is very good that the trail official called this obvious foul, which could even be called as an unsportsmanlike foul. Crossed arms holding. Momentarily holding by crossed arms are one of the most complicated areas in rebounding. Black 14 holds the arms of white 15. In all crossed arm situations, it is very important for the official to react to the initial illegal action. A foul is correctly called on black 14. This is the key action in many crossed arm situations, and as we shall see later, in many post-play contacts. The officials need to master the skill of catching the first holding by a player. See it again. White 10 attempts a long three-point shot. Black 14 holds the arms of white 15. Unfortunately, in this crossed arm situation, a foul is not called. Blue 9 receives a ball from blue 5 in the post position. He returns and attempts a shot. White 8 and blue 5 go for the rebound. White 8, standing back from the offensive player, holds blue 5, crosses arms, and pulls him. No foul is called. Tapping the ball from the hands of the opponent. We shall now review the phases of rebound situations when players are jumping for the ball and catch it. Sometimes both opponents catch the ball at the same time, and a held ball is called. Unfortunately, it can also be seen that when both opponents simultaneously catch the ball from a rebound, the officials penalize one of them with a personal foul. In analyzing the rebound play, we shall consider more carefully the situations when one player clearly first catches the ball, an opponent then makes an attempt to tap it from his hands. In many cases, tapping the ball from the opponent's hands happens momentarily, and the situation happens so quickly that even during the replay, it is not easy to determine if a ball was tapped legally or if there was some kind of illegal contact. Blue 11 attempts a jump shot, but White 4 blocks it. Blue 11 catches the ball and shoots again, but misses, and White 4 gets the rebound. Blue 6 and 11 attempt to tap the ball from the hands of White 4, but foul the opponent. Blue 4 dribbles to the front court, and when approaching the restricted area, attempts a shot over his tall opponents. He misses the shot, and when White 14 gets the rebound, Blue 4 strikes the fingers of his opponent. That leads to White 14 losing the ball. This very short illegal contact is judged correctly, and the foul is called on Blue 4. Blue 4 receives a pass and takes a quick shot. His teammate, Blue 12 and White 14, go for the rebound. Blue 11 reaches the ball first, and after he taps the ball, it is caught by White 6. Attempting to tap the ball with one arm, Blue 10 strikes the arm of White 6. A foul is called correctly. Let's watch it again. Watch two similar situations from the same game. In the first case, the rebound was obviously won by White 15, and his opponent, Blue 14, just holds the arm of the ball handler.
2 shots.
For the other clip, Blue 14, as a defensive rebounder, begins to control the ball in the air. And now White 14 contacts his arms. White 13 dribbles inside the restricted area and attempts a shot. With two players fighting for the rebound, Green 12 is the first to catch the ball with both hands, and White 13 extends his arm in the face of the opponent. A foul is called on White 13. White 14 attempts a difficult three-point shot. His teammate White 13 catches the rebound from the ring. Shortly after an offensive player lands on the floor, Blue 13 is trying to tap the ball from the hands of White 13, but misses both opponents' hands and the ball and strikes the face of the opponent. A foul is correctly called on Blue 13. With many positive examples of the correct coverage of rebounding plays, officials sometimes miss the illegal actions of the players who are trying to tap the ball from the hands of the opponent after the rebound. Watch what happens when all of the officials in a particular play momentarily lose concentration or switch their attention from the ball. Let's see it again. White 6 penetrates into the restricted area and passes the ball to White 4, who attempts a shot. Black 11 clearly catches the rebound, after which White 5 tries to tap the ball out of his hands, but makes contact with Black 11's face. The obvious foul is missed, and the player actually gets injured. The examples that you have seen show the officials need to really concentrate during a rebound situation, and when one of the opponents gets the ball. In this particular play, the action was only stopped because it was the end of the third period of the game. Finally, it needs to be noted that it is not always a personal foul when a player catches the ball with both hands and the opponent taps it away from him. Here the foul on White 14 is called, but there was no contact made by the hands of Black 5. As the body contact is also negligible, The best decision is this play should be no call. Watch this play. Following a three-point attempt, two players go for the ball. White 5 with his two hands and Blue 12 with one hand. White 5 almost catches the ball, but Blue 12 taps the ball away towards the sideline.